stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We might need to close that door, I don't know. They have a sisters tonight? Yeah. Close this door? Yeah, just because we get the clutter from the hallway. You can close their door instead if you'd rather. No, it's fine. You can leave it a crack, it doesn't matter. Okay. Awesome, thank you. So tonight, first thing on our agenda at 6 o'clock, or 6:05 as it may be, is a public hearing for a Comcast franchise agreement. At 7 o'clock, we have some non-public sessions scheduled. That's incorrect. Okay. So, before we begin, are you all set to enter the public hearing? Okay. I make a motion that we enter into a public hearing to address the renewal of the cable television franchise between the town of New Ipswich and Comcast of a whole bunch of states, including New Hampshire, LLC.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So this agreement is the renewal of the franchise with Comcast, which is done every, I believe, 5 years. Is that right? And we should have a sign-in sheet for people. If they'd like to make comments, please sign in. And has anyone looked at this? Have you had a chance to look at it?
Missing a date again on page 1.
What's that?
Missing a date?
Page 1.
I think that's the
That's
date that it
today.
starts at.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to
We have to put that
put it
in.
in.
The agreement is pretty much the same agreement that we had for the last 5 years. Is there any public comments? Anyone like to speak?
I didn't write my name down, but what's pretty much?
Um,
Other than the price,
yeah, other than the price, it's virtually the same agreement. The dates are changed. What we found when we went through it is you have very little opportunity to change these agreements. It's pretty much spelling out where they're gonna, not where new places that they're gonna install, but their specifications for where they will install. What to do if we have public, if the public has issues, if customers have issues, spelling out where they go for remedy.
That hasn't changed.
That
No,
hasn't changed. None of that has changed.
one of the biggest concerns I had been hearing from people is the lack of having access to cable TV. And we asked them, they have what they call, I believe it was called a point-to-point plan. And it's a
Yeah.
plan in New Ipswich, and it shows where they're currently serving. And they've got pretty much the whole town covered. Other than one or two remote little roads, they had it covered much better than what I thought. So,
And one of the things we wanted was, you also hear that people can't get the service because they want them to pay for the service, customers. And a lot of it has to do with how the distance that the house is from the road, and the service may be available at the road, but then the customer would be expected to pay for the service brought into the house. because it exceeds a certain length that they have already pre-prescribed, so to speak.
Which I think is 100 feet. They'll, as long as your house is within 100 feet of the road, they pay, but if it goes beyond that, you have to pick up the extra distance.
200 feet,
The other thing that they picked
200
up
200 feet.
Was the correction on which town buildings receive it. They had, like, the old schools were still listed in there, so they've updated that.
I think there weren't many other.
There were not many changes at all. A lot of it's legalese, you know, you get the covering.
We
This is
shortened the
what we cover.
duration of time for them to install underground services. Before, they used to have 180 days, and that got changed to 30 days. So, just trying to go through our markups of items that they changed.
Oh, yeah, I've got the markup there, it's a
Yeah.
lot easier. Dates, obviously,
Yeah,
dates.
many of them are just the effective dates. The other thing you may wanna know is, that letter that we got from them regarding the cost for the new bundled packages.
Yeah, are they in here?
Yeah, they're right here in the back.
I think Comcast customers,
I was thinking,
Bundled.
there was one in the red folder.
Then it's different
Yeah.
than what's
oh, I
listed
didn't
down
see
in
that
there.
one. I see this one.
It's in,
Oh, okay. They are redoing, apparently, their selection, so on August 3rd, HD Premier XF Triple Play Bundle will be renamed HD Premier with Sports XF Triple Play Bundle. On August 24th, HD Premier with Sports XF Triple Play Bundle and HD Preferred Plus XF Triple Play Bundle will no longer be available for new subscriptions. Okay. New packages available on August 3rd. HD Preferred Extra XF Triple Play Bundle will include Digital Preferred, Showtime, Stars, TMC, and Stream Picks for the primary outlet, HD Technology Feed, Blast, Internet, and Xfinity Voice Unlimited for $188.49 per month with a sure price months 13 to 24 of $174.99 per month. So the price is gonna go down from months 13 to 24? I'm not really quite sure.
I think it's because when they offer the package, it's for X amount of dollars for 24 months, but they reduce it at the second 12 months.
Okay. HD XF Triple Play Bundle is another one that will be available. Includes Digital Preferred, HBO, Showtime, Stars, Cinemax, TMC, and DVR service, or any room DVR service for the primary outlet, HD Technology Feed, Blast, Internet, and Xfinity Voice Unlimited for $216.49 per month with a sure price months 13 to 24 of $194.99. So I believe that Comcast customers get notified of these things, so you can review it more carefully. But we get a copy as well from Comcast.
One thing from reading this agreement with them that's very important is anybody that is a Comcast customer and they have any complaints, they should put it in writing. Because when we renew these agreements, they're required to keep track of what the customer complaints were and how they got it resolved. And when we asked them for that data from the last 5 years, there was only one written complaint.
Only, they're required only to disclose the written complaints. So if it's not written, we don't see everybody calling up frustrated or whatever. All we see is how many people had a formal written complaint to the company, which one person in 5 years, and I'm pretty sure there's
At least two. At least two.
more. So, it would be helpful if people put them in writing, so. Any other public comments? Do you wanna leave this open, or,
Sure.
we'll leave the public meeting open, until we finish our business, if other people come in and wanna have some comment. Okay? And this franchise agreement is available at the town office if anybody wants to review it. Oh, it's also on the website. That's good. Awesome.
Good bedtime reading. Every day.
Some of it is bedtime. All right. We received a letter from Scenic Regional School District, which shows us the calculations that they've done to determine what the monthly payment is for the town of Greenville and the town of New Ipswich. And their estimation, because things do change and sometimes it gets adjusted as the year goes, but their current adjustment is for New Ipswich to contribute $657,945 each month to the school district.
I was gonna ask whether we should ask for a backup of how they arrived at those figures.
Well, you can, they have their appropriation estimate and the state, that's all that they've
Yeah, I'm
shown.
just saying, he references other items in the front there, I was just kinda curious on how they did or not, that it would make a hill of beans probably.
Well, if you'd like that, we can call and ask it, but it probably won't change our number.
Yeah, at least have it for the backup.
In case somebody asks.
We have a private road agreement and release for San Ken Homes for 57 Old Beaver Road. It is our standard private road agreement and release, which releases the town of New Ipswich from responsibilities regarding the roads.
The maintenance and maintaining.
Maintenance and repair. Mhm. Today's the 5th, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Just double checking, all of a sudden I had a mind blank. 11 Temple Road has been put up for auction. You can see, do we have this on the webpage? The ad for that, it's a tax deeded property being sold at absolute auction, and all the information can be obtained from James R. St. Jean Auctioneers at www.jsjauctions.com. The phone number is 603-734-4348. And they will be handling the auction for the town of New Ipswich. So the ad will be up on the website. And
Say the date?
I'm sure it's, oh yeah, I did not say the date. The date is Thursday, July 21st at 3 p.m. at the site, 11 Temple Road. Property will be open for an hour before for people to take a look.
I have a question about that property. You guys had 2 closed-door sessions concerning that property.
Yes,
Are they, is Are the minutes still sealed?
We had said that the minutes were gonna be sealed until the
Auction
auction
is
goes
complete.
through.
Till after the auction?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just wanna forewarn you, I know you guys know what you're doing, but if there's something in those sealed minutes that should be known to a bidder, you better tell him before he buys it,
We understand that.
huh?
We understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It was strictly, well,
Yeah,
Well,
I guess we can't say what it is because they're sealed. Yeah.
no,
If there was nothing
there was this discussion.
regarding the condition of the property or
yeah,
anything like that.
no, I just thought if there was
Yeah.
something like arsenic
Yeah,
leading
no.
from that house into the brook that,
Yeah.
well, okay, if you feel comfortable not revealing them. But if people know that there's sealed minutes, that might deter, it would deter me from bidding on it.
It shouldn't, because the sealed minutes, Dave, by the RSA 91A is for real estate.
matters?
No, but the
No.
one that we went to specifically was for real estate, transfers and strategizing. How should we set it up? Type,
Although you didn't say that when you.
Sure
you
we
read
did.
your-
We did.
You read your regular thing like you always do. There's
Yeah.
nothing that I remember. But I'm just bringing up a point. If-
Yeah, that's
If I
fine.
knew there
Yeah.
were sealed minutes about that property, I wouldn't bid on it,
Yeah, it's.
personally.
It was to strategize what we wanted to do, and there are restrictions placed on the property sale. So,
Yeah. But if there's restrictions placed on a property, and they're not gonna release that
That is-
information
we did,
till
no,
after.
it's in there.
Oh.
It's in
It's on the
there.
Oh, okay,
advertisement. Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
You didn't
Yeah.
say that, but now you did,
yeah, yeah,
so.
I can read them to you if you'd like.
Yeah, did you read it? No?
No,
Oh.
no, I didn't.
Okay.
The
You gotta go on our
property,
website, Dave.
go on the
It's
website.
on yet.
I don't
No,
have
no,
a
no.
computer.
All right,
There's some people that don't,
Dave,
too dumb.
No.
Not it.
Dave, the
Yes.
property will be sold subject to the following restriction. The successful bidder must restore or rebuild to current local and state building codes within 18 months from closing on the property. If, after 18 months, the property is not rebuilt or restored in accordance with above, ownership of the property will revert to the town of New Ipswich. Those are the restrictions. Okay?
And when we went into non-public, it was under 91A31D, which is consideration of the acquisition, sale, or lease of real or personal property, which if discussed in public, would likely benefit a party or parties whose interests are adverse to those of the general community. And one of the other items, and I hope he caught it in time, was that ad about the public and private well.
We corrected it.
Is that correct? Okay, great.
Yeah. It didn't the first week, but it has been corrected subsequently.
Perfect.
Yes. So, any more questions on the auction? Okay. We received a letter from the Town of Temple, New Hampshire, Board of Selectmen, and they write, "Dear board members, we would like to inform you that the Temple Board of Selectmen met with Bruce Simpson of USA Properties at our June 28th, 2016 meeting. Mr. Simpson explained his plans for a subdivision in New Ipswich and his desire to have the ends of Stowe Road in New Ipswich and Moran Road in Temple upgraded. It was moved, seconded, and voted in the unanimous affirmative by the Temple Board of Selectmen to reject the request of USA Properties for an upgrade to Moran Road in Temple." And that's signed by the selectmen in Temple, George Willard, Ken Casey, and Gail Cromwell. So that was in response to Mr. Simpson requesting us to upgrade or for an upgrade for that road. That doesn't go. That is all of the business that I have in here right now. Do we have any public matters? Anyone?
Well, there was, I'm here because we had the 4th of July, and we do every year, for 30 years, this is our 30th year doing fireworks at Pratt Pond. And we always get all our permits, we get the noise permit, I mean, every permit that we can get, we get.
Mm-hmm.
And then, about 8:30 on the 3rd, a police cruiser pulls in and says, shut it down, because somebody across the pond complained, and we asked, well, who was this somebody? And he called his dispatcher, because first he said it was anonymous. Called his dispatcher called him back and said it was Mary Fournier, who is the the secretary over the police department. And the police chief, Mr. Carpenter, said to us that that would be a conflict of interest if she called. They weren't gonna shut anything down, but it did happen. There were other fireworks going off. This was for the cannon. Cannon permit was issued for 5 shots. I think we probably had done 2 by the time he came at 8 or 8:30, somewhere around there.
Really?
And it was done. It was like, well, why does he say one thing, that's a conflict of interest? If she's the only one that called, and that's what this officer said, why are we shut down when the chief gives us 5 shots? All have to be done at certain hours. He gives us times that they have to be done. And then still, we can't do it. We have firework permits, we have cannon permits now that started last year, noise permits.
I'm not familiar with this cannon permit. Is that something you get through the,
It's all through the police department.
Police department
I
and the
have
fire
it right-
department, they go out and they look at the
They
cannon,
look-
make sure
Yep, they
that
sent
it's-
Homeland
that it's-
Security, I think, or fire marshals, state fire marshals last year. We had a whole crew of people over there looking at this cannon.
oh, so it is a real cannon?
It's a real cannon.
Okay.
Yeah, and they approved it.
And they approved it.
Yeah.
And we had 3 shots last year. The chief gave us 3 to try it out. And he said,
Yeah.
if everything goes well, we'll give you 5 next year.
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 or maybe 3, I'm not sure, lit off, and then the cruiser pulls it. It just seems, why do we even get a permit then?
Again, I would say you should probably be having this conversation with Chief Carpenter, but my first question would have been, did the officer contact Chief Carpenter?
Well, whether he did or not, I would think Chief Carpenter would have told, if Mary calls, don't go over there. Because he told us that,
Has
that it was a
anyone talked,
conflict of act.
has anyone talked to Chief Carpenter?
No, I have not, so I couldn't tell you why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably where you should start
Yeah,
and see
Well,
if he had any.
fireworks, I mean, they've been signed by the board, you know.
They
right,
are.
yeah. And
You're-
I
you're
remember there was
absolutely right.
one, there was only one that required the waiver from the noise ordinance, I thought, because it was gonna be after 10.
Yeah,
But you're saying this was at 8:30,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't have even needed the waiver for the noise ordinance.
no. And it just, you know,
So you do the fireworks, or did you,
fireworks went off,
but not the
But
cannon?
the cannon stopped,
cannon
you said,
stopped.
right, yeah.
Alright,
but, you know, what it brings to mind is like, why do we jump through these hoops? We have
Absolutely.
everybody come down and look at this thing,
Yeah.
approve it, everybody's good from the state all the way down. And then the police secretary calls in and says she doesn't want it, you know, it's like,
yeah,
Why?
I don't know, I guess we have to look and find out what happened too, you know what I mean, cause you're catching us blind, like I hadn't heard any of this before you're bringing it up now. But I understand your point completely, you know, but I would talk to, the chief and find out what happened, and I think, yeah, we will do the same, but I don't have an answer for you right now. Dave?
Then another point is, Dave Divot from Pratt Pond also had a cannon permit, and, he had 3 shots allowed, and he did his 3 shots, but shortly after the officer went to Kane's, he came down where Mr. Divot was doing his, which is right next to us. And, he was looking for Dave Divot, because I think he was gonna stop him too, so it wasn't just Kane's, but I'm sure they took Kane's permit away, and I'm sure he was looking for Mr. Divot, but he had already done his 3, and he was done, and he went home. So it wasn't just an
Yeah.
isolated case against
Yeah.
Kane's, it was,
Yeah,
yeah.
And it's true, and the officer will have to admit it, we were standing in the driveway talking to him, my husband and my son, standing in the driveway talking to the officer when other explosions, whether they were cannons or not, I don't know, he heard them go off, and we're standing there with him. So you're shutting us down, who got all the permits, and all these other people that don't have permits get to go away with whatever they wanna do, you know, and
Right.
it's just not fair.
right,
If nothing else, I mean, I realize he comes to our house, cause we got the permits, but don't shut us down.
yeah,
Don't penalize us for getting the permits, and that's what's happened.
that's what you felt.
Not felt, I
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
that that's,
yeah,
I mean,
that's
he
what-
only came to our house cause he knew we had a permit.
Right,
But while he's standing in our driveway, he hears other things going off. Did he go anywhere? Did he stop anybody else? No.
yeah,
Yeah, what I have a hard time understanding is why he shut it down if you have your permit.
Right.
I don't understand
That's
that
the-
either.
Makes no, it doesn't make
Well,
sense.
it says
but-
one complaint, if you read the permit,
Permit gives them absolute, a kind of absolute authority on it,
pretty
right?
much.
Yeah,
It's- And it says if one person complains, I think. Well, actually, I'll just let you read it, because evidently you haven't seen it.
well, we have seen it, but it's
I
hard to
haven't seen the-
recall
I
what
haven't
the
seen one
rules
for a
are.
cannon.
Yeah,
That was all done just last year.
yeah. Because we determined that, I think that the RSA's require a separate thing for a cannon, which is why it was implemented.
Any citizen complaint.
What's that?
Because it says here, this authorization can be revoked by the New Ipswich Chief of Police or designate fire chief or designate for any citizen complaint, safety issues, blah, blah, blah.
But the chief did say that it would be a conflict of interest that Mary Fournier had come.
Yeah, I wonder if, you know, we don't know if the designee contacted him or not, but let's look into it further and find out what happened and make a modification.
Can I ask you, do you remember how many fireworks permits you've given out this year so far? Rough number, if not exact.
10?
10?
Yeah, if I were to say 10, that would have been max.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
max.
probably only missed 30 so far. So why get a permit? What's
Yeah.
the?
Well, I'll be honest
The point
with
is,
you.
why get a permit?
I'm downtown, and normally I hear a lot of them. I didn't hear any yesterday.
Not yesterday,
Yesterday.
but the third, there were a lot.
You didn't hear.
Third being
Sunday night.
Evening.
Sunday.
There were,
I got home 8 o'clock. No, I did not.
well,
maybe they
No.
just-
we saw many,
Yeah,
I saw on Sunday.
yeah.
There were a few on Saturday, more on Sunday. I think there was only one permit issued for Saturday, and
I heard
the
some
bulk of
on
them.
July 1st. That would have been, I don't know what day, but July 1st I heard
This one
some.
here.
Yeah,
Heard
There's
some
a
the
class
second,
you
I
had
heard
day
a lot
also.
the third. Not many
Just
last.
kind of throw that out there.
Everybody's broke. It's kind of hard.
And we didn't get called on not setting off anything, so,
okay.
Out of curiosity, you said you did it last year.
yep.
Were there any complaints?
Well, not as far, we didn't get a call, we didn't get a driveway pulled down with the cruiser last year, so. And if there were, I'm not sure he would have given us 5 shots this year where he gave 3 shots last year.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm assuming there wasn't, and everything went just how he expected it to go, and he gave permission for a couple more shots this year. At a certain scheduled time, this all had to be at a scheduled
Yeah,
time.
Right,
So everybody knew what time these were gonna be. And the person that complained, I'm sure she had a copy.
That's what I'm thinking is
She had to have a copy of
Mhm.
when, and she knew exactly what times they were gonna be. And, you know, of all people, to say, you know, to call up.
Right, Lou?
Discussion that we'll have with Chief Carpenter and find out what happened, what, transpired, how the complaint came about, and what the officer did, and, I mean, there's a police report that's been written, so.
Right. And when he did, the officer came down, he tried to keep it anonymous on the, we got an anonymous report of fireworks. And when pressured, he said he would call his dispatch, and they came over and said it was Mary Fournier.
And just a point of interest, I understand people with animals, the animals get jittery with fireworks, and that's what you're gonna hear, is because of the doggies and horsies. But I don't know if you've ever been to Freiburg Fair. They have 40 big barns full of animals. Of all, you name it, it's there. There's 40 big buildings full of those animals, and they do fireworks all the time. So, to me, 3 doggies and a pony don't make 40 buildings full.
Well, it
You
shouldn't
know,
change.
and there's things you can do, you can tranquilize your animals, or you can take them away for the evening. Not just make
And
trouble.
I do
Well-
have animals as well, and I do have to put mine somewhere out in another location, so
Yeah.
he doesn't freak
Yeah.
out. But that's because I don't want him freaking out.
Yeah, well,
You know, so, I mean, if there's, one person that complains that has 3 dogs and a horse or whatever it is, and everything has to stop, or, and it's just
well, let's,
crazy.
I ask that you please go talk to the chief,
Yeah.
and we will as well. And, we need to know, we need more information to, discuss it, properly, can we change something, what happened, so.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, what happened is I got all the permits and was as legal as I could be.
Yeah,
Did it on his schedule, and his secretary called and put it, and the officer said, you're shut down. No more cannon fire.
all right. We will talk to the chief, find out.
You know if he's
What the
working this
story is.
week, or is he working
He is,
tomorrow?
no, is he
Is he on
working this
vacation this
week or is he
week?
on vacation? Vacation next week. He is in this week. Okay. I know he's going on vacation for 2 weeks. I didn't know if it included this week. So yes, we'll talk to him this week.
Yeah, we'll try to
Does,
talk
it
to
doesn't
him.
help, cause we can't fix what
No,
happened, but
but,
we can
all I
understand the
say is,
situation and try and,
I won't do it again, for 30 years we've been paying in for these permits, and
Yeah.
we're probably one of the only 2 that actually do it, and doesn't get you any
Yeah.
further than if you
Yeah.
didn't do it.
okay. Point taken.
So when are you gonna fire off the next 2?
Yeah.
Or 3.
Tonight,
Oh, she only has 2 left, right? You
Only
did
2,
3?
2, yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know
You
if
did
it's sure
three,
if it
yeah.
was 2 or 3,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
because there was other, I usually am not down where the cannon goes off. So.
yeah. It's pretty loud.
Yeah, there's a lot of loud things at that night.
There are,
A
absolutely.
lot of loud
I
things.
agree.
And to be able to, I couldn't tell you one cannon, or some other shots from either
From the
one,
fireworks,
from
you
the
mean?
fireworks sometimes, from somebody throwing some other firework or doing something else, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you can distinguish it from across the pond.
So why, just out of curiosity, why do they require a separate permit? Is that an RSA thing?
I
Yeah,
guess it was, and they
Yeah.
require it for like the reenactments as well.
Okay.
and it's specific to cannons. It's.
That's why when you first said cannon, I thought, oh, that's a name for one of these firework things, but
No.
you meant a real cannon.
Specific,
Yeah.
Specific for cannon.
Powdered fired cannon is,
Yeah.
I think is listed on your permit, so.
and they are a little bit louder than the regular, a little bit. Not much,
You mean than the regular fire?
than a regular
Yeah.
firework,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Okay, we'll move on. Tim, do you have any, thing that you'd like to report?
Speaking of fireworks, did we give out a permit for 248 Ashby Road?
I have no idea.
Can we look into that?
Can you tell me the name?
All I have is an address. Sorry.
I think no too, but, we have to go back through
If
our
you told me the name, I'd
records.
be
Yeah,
able to tell you, but
I'm not
we
sure.
can check.
Okay. I did pick up the license plates for the antique fire truck, so we're one step closer to getting it dusted off and getting it out of the old fire station.
Okay,
It's registered and ready to go. I have to find out today that Chief One is being deployed to Nevada for brush fire through the state, so I gotta figure out who she put in charge up there.
there's a memo, she put Gary in charge,
Okay,
I think it's in the general information folder.
very good. And it's we'll have to, depending on permit status, we'll have to have a discussion on 248 Ashby Road.
Okay? David, did you have anything?
Yeah. Last week's meeting, we had a letter from Bob Boynton regarding, 445 Turnpike.
Yes.
We were supposed to do a drive-by. Which I did. We were gonna schedule
you?
I don't.
a meeting.
I didn't only because I don't know what I'm looking for, so I'd rather.
It was a wetlands violation where they, put material right up to the brook.
I didn't see it. Did you?
Yeah,
What did you think?
well, that's right, they did.
Okay, so then we should
Yeah.
go down and
Yeah.
take a look at it, schedule a meeting,
Yes.
and ask Bob to attend.
Mm-hmm.
When would you like to do that, any particular time?
Next Tuesday, 6 o'clock.
All right,
No,
that's fine.
oh, okay.
I'm sorry. What did you?
David's in charge next
Okay.
week.
Yeah, all right.
She's writing it down.
It's okay.
Okay,
We'll cancel next week's meeting, we'll do the walkthrough.
okay.
You're the one that suggested it, don't say really.
I didn't suggest it. I was trying to stop you because I knew she was gonna be here.
What time
Yeah, I
do you
know.
wanna do? 6? David?
Yeah. Becky's not gonna be here next week, so I figured we're gonna probably end up canceling the meeting.
You don't have to cancel a meeting on
Why?
my count.
So you want me to inform him that we're gonna be doing this like you said?
Yeah, but we should first check with Bob to make sure he's gonna be available. We need to, get I down from, our 6/14 meeting about looking into what the maintenance and perpetual care funds were defined for, on the use of those funds. I don't know if you had a chance to, okay.
We have vacations interfering.
That's no problem,
No?
no?
We have a walk through this Saturday of Turnpike Auto.
Yes.
Yeah,
For their permit, junkyard permit.
What time we going?
I think it was 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
Okay. You wanna meet there?
Did you check with, you had said that the building inspector had done a site visit to Peterson Road. And said that those vehicles were registered.
Yes, I actually talked to him today because he called, because we sent him a letter, and he's coming in next week. He's scheduled to come next week.
Yeah, we can keep a meeting. Either way,
When are you gonna do the site visit then?
we'd have to change that date.
Well, what time did you schedule the meeting?
6.
Oh, 6.
Wanna just
Oh, yeah.
reschedule that the following week?
Yeah, I can. What he told me today was that everything is, registered.
And inspected?
Somebody,
doesn't say
somebody told me that.
It doesn't say that in the.
Okay, in the
RSA.
RSA.
I didn't think so.
Just
Yeah.
registered.
Doesn't say that.
Okay.
But he said they were, and, he added a couple things.
This is the owner, or this is our
Yeah.
inspector? What about our inspector? I thought he went down there to
He
look.
said they were all registered,
Okay,
but I told him that I still wanted him to come in and talk to you, so,
Okay.
and you couldn't make it tonight.
No, that's all right,
That's
that's, it's not, it's not a matter of urgency,
Yeah.
so we certainly can work around schedules.
Did you hear from Mindy whether they were gonna get enough, kids for the basketball program?
No, I don't know that, when was she doing the registration for that?
But I thought, I didn't write down the dates, but I thought it was the beginning of July, but I could have
I was
been
gonna
wrong.
say, I think it was last weekend.
Yeah, I have not.
Yeah, I was just curious whether,
That would be a good program, if they get enough
Yeah.
kids to do it.
yeah.
I talked to her tonight too, and I didn't think to ask.
That was the one she was doing in conjunction with the Boynton coach.
With Dutch. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other item was, software for the welfare. Did she ever put together a,
Yes, and she's coming in week after next.
Oh, and, the outside floodlights on the fire station are now all motion. So they did update the one that was closest to the power lines, so that's all been taken care of. They're also looking into, changing the motor on the Cascade system, so we can get it off the three-phase. Cause they did state that the motor can be downgraded, so we can go into a single phase. So they're looking into that price-wise and what it's gonna take to do that. So, the chief did state that it's not feasible to move that system. It would be too much of a hassle, both moving it and having to come down and,
Well, I imagine we'll have issues transporting tanks.
yes, and that was that concern.
That's a problem,
Yep.
so.
So we are looking into putting a smaller motor on it, which it does state that it will take you can put a smaller horsepower motor on it, it will do exactly what it's doing now, and it won't be on a three-phase system, so.
Alright.
so what's the problem with just, had it been down here with transporting the tanks that would transport all over town?
Well, the issue would be is having to fill them once you get back from a call. You'd have to wash them up at the station, bring them down, fill them, transport them back, put them all back together up there, and then put them back on a truck. So,
They're transported on trucks, whereas you can't take them all off and put them in one lump and then bring them down. It's different than you have.
They could drive the truck here and do all of that, but it's here or there, they can change the voltage and, okay.
Okay,
How did your, meeting with Primex go? Anything,
Oh.
she has to think back and find it.
Sorry.
No, it's
Not
all
to
right.
push-
It was just on all those forms and things that I brought back and did, you had to sign and look at.
There were
Agreement form, there was.
Inventory.
Inventory form, it was,
we saw these?
yeah. So that's, it was mostly telling us how to do it, and it had to come back right away, and.
Is that, yeah, you referring to those vinyl packets that were on the,
no.
okay.
Oh, no, that's for the fire department, actually.
I don't recall seeing any of their forms. When were
Probably
they?
I just did it,
Oh, okay,
and then,
that's perfect.
and then Becky had to sign the agreement.
do we know where we are on that checklist of, we had, I don't know, there's like 12 or 13 things on there. We knew we had some of them done in regards to discounts, and do we know what we have done and what we don't have done?
No,
No?
I had to meet with, our rep, and
Yep.
we just went on with them July 1st.
We're 5 days new.
Excellent. But you were was the joint loss committee gonna meet again? Is that the plan, to get them meeting again?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How did the, police committee meeting go?
Good. They came in with a schematic plan for the building, the layout, and for the most part, it addressed,
Concerns?
yeah, and the needs of the department. There were a couple of minor adjustments that were gonna need to be made. What we were more concerned with were their options for siting the building on the site. And every option they came in with had a new drive going right along this way here,
The backside of
this side here.
Yep.
And we had told them to give us different options, not, and every one it was here.
Yeah.
And after the meeting, we went outside because years ago, somebody had posed one on that side of the property, and where they had sited the building, that would work perfectly. So
Mhm.
they're supposed to come back with another option. We have a meeting, I think it is on July 28th.
So when
And
do
they're
you
gonna
expect
come back.
we'll have a chance to look at some of that?
You're welcome to come to any of the meetings as the public and
Yeah, no,
see
it's
what
just-
they are.
Curious.
Yeah, I can forward you, because they did give it to us electronically, I think they gave us 5 options of siting the building in different configurations,
Okay,
but put them all on this side, so we haven't gotten
the other one.
the other one yet.
All right. It'd be nice to look at that.
Yeah.
Do you have any update on regards to the progress down at the Memorial Field and all the projects she's got going on?
Yeah, they're making good progress on the dugouts in the back.
Mm-hmm.
She said they had started working on that. I don't know exactly what stage they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not, did she send us anything back on the booth, the announcer's booth? Yeah, I think that's, gonna need some nudging. I think people got through baseball season and went, and now.
Took a breath there.
And now,
Yeah.
they'll need to restart that up, so we'll check into that some more. But the back dugouts are being worked on now.
Fence getting put up back there?
After the dugouts, maybe, gotta get that, gotta go one step at a time. So,
As long as we're making forward steps.
there's a lot of forward steps being made. Okay, anything else? Are we good?
Nope.
Then, why don't we recess for 10 minutes until we can have our first non-public? How's that?
One has the attachments for just the facility, the other one has it
Oh, great.
with the site.
So
All
it's
right,
like-
thank
Knowing
you.
that it got sent, and it went to your regular emails, because I don't have your
Okay.
updated ones.
I
Alright.
just sent you an email.
I know, it was at least 2 hours ago.
Killing me.
Okay, we will have returned from recess. I would like to, you gotta go? Oh. I'd like to make a motion to enter into non-public session according to 91A3.
Before we do that, we should close the public hearing
Oh.
on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Make a motion to close the public hearing on the Comcast television franchise agreement.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And now I will make a motion to enter non-public session according to 91A3 to C. Matters which, if discussed in public, would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the public body itself, unless such person requests an open meeting. This exemption shall extend to any application for assistance or tax abatement or waiver of a fee, fine, or other levy if based on inability to pay or poverty of the applicant. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.